Welcome back. Let's find out if we've gotten anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. Andy, Evan Thomas from Newsweek was on Hardball recently and said that Obama, quote, is sort of a god. Was he right or wrong?
Yeah, I'm a little upset with Evan, Greg.
Really?
Yeah. I don't understand why he had to say sort of.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the one.
Yeah.
Megan Fox says Megatron should kill all the white trash, hillbilly, anti-gay, super Bible-beating people in middle America. Do we have that topless photo of her, Jack? Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
By the way, Lauren, you said you don't know what her tattoo says. If I translated it correctly from that picture, it roughly says, kill all of the white trash, hillbilly, anti-gay, super Bible-beating people in middle America.
Yeah. Well, at least she's consistent.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably we should have seen the story coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ned, the MacArthur Fellowships are actually given out in September, so fingers crossed for Meggie.
I know that, okay? I know that. Every year they do it. Every year.
Yeah, without fail. Bill, thank you for pointing out that the actual title of the Transformers sequel is Transformers 2: Revenge of the Fallen. Opening night?
Oh, what is that, in 2 weeks?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you there, Michael Bay fan.
Thursday midnight.
You done and done.
All right,
And then we'll go to the movie.
Excellent. By the way, what Fox actually said is that what she would do is, quote, barter with Megatron and ask him, instead of the entire planet, can you just take out all of the, et cetera. So it's like Obama's foreign policy, Greg.
Really?
Yeah, sit down, negotiate with the evil robot. Yeah, it all works out. SUVs sometimes greener than trains. Lauren, you thanked Bill for dumbing down your response. Please don't encourage him.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're right.
All right. We didn't cover this, but U.S. Prius sales are down 45% this year.
Yeah, I mentioned it, the old fig leaf.
Yeah, exactly. However, it was the best-selling car in Japan for the month of May, Greg.
Really? Why is that?
Because it sold more than any other brand of car in Japan for the month of May, Greg.
I thought maybe it's because Godzilla doesn't like to pick them up and throw them.
No, it's because it sold more cars.
Yes. Or maybe it was Mothra didn't like them.
That could be. It could have been a Mothra thing, yeah.
Yeah, or Rodin.
Yeah. The other interesting thing about this study is that it pointed out that you can't just use the so-called tailpipe emissions to measure how green or not green something is. You also have to take into account the effect on the environment of building and operating railway stations, airport terminals, etc.
Duh.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's what's weird is why did it take this study to point that out? Why has no other study done that? I ask you, Greg.
I think that other scientists have pointed this out, but they have been ignored. That the actual process of making something that is environmentally correct actually creates more problems. Recycling, for example. The recycling plants cause a lot of pollution.
Yeah, I didn't really care.
You were thinking about Megan Fox.
Yeah, it really was. And regarding those Burger King signs, BK says that its franchisee agreement says signs outside a restaurant can't be used to express any political or religious views. Meanwhile, the franchise owner seems to think that his First Amendment rights trump his contractual agreement, which seems wrong to me. If he voluntarily signed the agreement, he needs to abide by it.
Yeah.
Or not, Greg. Fair and balanced.
Yeah. Well done with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Gregalog, Ethiopian stowaway. Lauren, don't feel bad. I kind of dozed off during this one, too.
What are you talking about? It was.
Now I'm in good company.
Yeah.
Yeah, how can you doze off at something that's 75 seconds long?
It's a skill set.
Yes,
There is
it
no way that was only 75 minutes.
Right. Ned, you mentioned how roomy the wheel wells are becoming on airplanes, and Lauren, you woke up long enough to say something about how impressive it is to come over here in a wheel well. Actually, this guy was in the baggage hold, which is heated and pressurized.
Oh, it's sexier.
Yeah, wheel wells are neither, and the vast majority of people who stow away in them end up dying.
Yeah, that is true. That's why if they ever survive, they deserve
Right,
they
exactly.
deserve to come in.
Only 14
But
out
Greg
of
mentioned
74
wheel wells.
have survived.
What?
Only 14 out of 74 have survived.
Wow.
Yeah, I like those odds. Those are good odds, right?
And lastly, Stephen, you seem surprised at the if you do it at night, it's okay theory. Where have you been?
I've been trying to be a parent for a couple of years. I forgot.
Why do you hate Batman, Stephen?
I'm a hater. I don't like Batman at all. He always creeps me out.
Awful.
It's the cape.
Just awful. That's what I love about him. I'm done.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay.
Let me welcome back our guests. Okay, I shall. Lauren Sivan, Fox News Channel anchor. She's so hot. She fills in when the sun calls in sick.
Aww.
Oh, that's hot. Ned Rice, television writer of wit and wisdom. We're a fireplace. I'd poke his log on a chilly night. And comedian Steven Cruiser, he also hosts Planet Cruiser on rfcradio.com weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. If hilarity were life in prison, he'd be long and hard. Well, a Pennsylvania high school student was tasered by a police officer Thursday after refusing to get off his cell phone. What was that? Penn Hills High allows students to have cell phones, but they can only use them in case of an emergency, like when they forget their lip gloss or their iPod battery dies. In this case, the student was in a hallway on the phone when an officer told him to hang up. The kid refused, and then Chief Howard Burton interrupted me to tell the rest of the story.
Chief.
The officer took him by the arm to take him to the office, and the kid started fighting with the officer. At that point, the officer struggled with him, took out a taser, and did what they call a dry stun on the individual student, which put him on the ground.
I found his hair kind of hypnotic. Lauren, I say, once the kid started fighting with the cop, he got what he deserved. Am I right or aren't I right?
Absolutely, Greg. And we all know that cell phone use is a gateway to sex and drugs, so they need to be stopped at an early age. And finally, the police force is being used for something good.
Yeah. Now, do you think this kid's going to sue? I bet he's going to sue and come out with a lot of money.
I would not be shocked.
You would not be shocked?
No.
Well, he was.
Hey!
What?
Yes.
Nice layup there.
Thank you. Stephen, what the heck? I'm sorry. I'm an old-fashioned person. What are phones doing in schools? I don't get it. What kind of emergency is there that one needs? I mean, surely, there are, if there's an accident or a fire, people are going to get there without you having to call your mom.
First of all, I went to Catholic schools with real celibate, angst-ridden nuns, and I would have welcomed a tasering. Okay, once you've been groin kicked by a 4-foot-tall woman who's just mad at everything, the tasering seems kind of, I want to do that. Phones have no place in school because then the kids they start sexting and doing bad things with each other, and when teenage boys should.
Yeah.
Shower. That's what they should do.
That's what I did for 20 years.
Yep.
Hey, Ned, one of the reasons police use tasers is to avoid physical violence, like using a baton or putting someone in a chokehold. Is this good, or do you think it makes it too easy for cops to go to the taser? Tasers, are you pro-taser or anti-taser?
In some cases, yeah, I think people should be tasered for using a cell phone in a theater.
Yes.
But in this case, I think a simple beating would have been plenty.
Yes.
I don't think we needed to get out the equipment and taser the kid.
Yeah.
Just a good severe beating.
Bill, the police chief
fine.
says that even after the kid was tasered and on the floor, he continued to struggle. Doesn't this mean the cops were too easy on him?
Maybe. I mean, the only loser here is the stun gun industry. How do you not stop a pimply little 120-pound 12-year-old with a stun gun? He was literally still. But I want to get back to this whole why should a kid have a cell phone? We are living in a bold new world, a bold world where hot 23-year-old blonde teachers have sex with 12-year-old dudes. They use the cell phones to brag, Greg. They need that.
I guess that is necessary.
Amen, brother.
Whatever happened to passing notes? Huh? Whatever happened to passing notes?
You can't record when you pass a note. They can actually record the act.
I bet you, Pinch, the New York Times thinks this cop is a fascist.
He sure is, Greg. All cops are. And again, kid, give me a ring, unpaid internships. We just gave one to an Ethiopian a while back. There's plenty more room for you. All
right.
In Krugman's desk.
Bottom line, if a person cooperates, the taser is unnecessary. But if he's being a then by all means, tase away. And really, who hasn't wanted to taser a punk who won't shut the hell up on his stupid phone? I sometimes do it even when they aren't talking just because they're in 8th grade and they're taller than me. All right, this next block is so good, you'll think you've died and gone to heaven, which is hysterical since we both know you're going to hell for what you did in 1996.